I'm good. How are you?
I am. Welcome to It's Natural Be Natural.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, since I know you, usually when I get a chance to interview people,
Okay.
I don't know them, but I know you.
Okay, a little bit.
So yeah. I think I know you more than I know them, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
Tell us about your big chop.
Oh my gosh. My big chop was kind of crazy. Once I finally got the nerve to cut all my hair off, the stylist would not cut it. They told me that they would not, and I had to keep going back over and over and over until finally they said, okay, I will cut it. And oh man, that day was a little crazy.
So your stylist was just like, nah, I'm not trying to cut it, this and that.
No, I think maybe they felt like they were gonna lose some money as a client because my hair was relaxed and short and I was there every week or 2 weeks. So I think they were a little disappointed to see me go because they knew they didn't style natural hair. So maybe disappointment.
Yeah, because I'm starting to see as I go through with these interviews, I'm starting to hear that when people did their big chop, the hairstylist was either all for it or just adamantly against it.
Well, yeah, back then, that was about 4 years ago. Back then, natural hair wasn't what it is now. So the trend is different and the popularity is exponential now. So.
Okay. Now, when you did your big chop, were there any pushback from like family or friends? Like, oh my God, I can't believe you did it. What are you doing?
Yes, tons of pushback. Some people were excited, but again, back then, a lot of people didn't know why I was doing the big chop. I felt like I always had to give explanations as to why I was doing it, the purpose of it. I had such good hair, why would I do something like that? And it was a struggling time, even just from family members. They questioned me a lot. I went through a lot of just emotional issues because I wasn't being accepted the way I thought I should have been. So it was a trying time for me. Definitely.
Did you ever go through that touchy-feely phase where your hair started growing and people was like, oh, let me touch it. Oh, let me touch it. Oh, let me touch it.
Yes and no. I mean, most people were just kind of, what are you doing? If they knew me, they didn't want to touch it. They wanted to know what I was doing because I was in that stage where I didn't know what I was doing with my hair. So I had good hair days and bad hair days. So the majority of the time it was just confusion.
Yeah, so you figured 4 years ago it wasn't a big push for natural hair. So,
No.
you know, there wasn't thousands of YouTube videos and everything for styling and everything like that.
No.
How did you come across styles before the whole YouTube tutorial phase?
Oh my gosh. Thankfully, I had a few friends that had just gone natural with me, and we kind of tossed ideas back from one another, but I kept trying to Google things, and that still wasn't working because it still just wasn't out there. Do it yourself. Who knows what DIY? Nobody knew what it was back then. So a lot of times, protective styling, it was braids. I kept the hair in braids or twists with extensions just because I didn't know what else was going on.
Yeah, because I didn't know what, I knew DIY.
Right.
I knew what that was, but
right.
somebody just hit me with the TWA. I'm like, wasn't that airline?
I
They're
know,
like,
TWA.
Teeny
Yeah.
Weedy Frail. I'm
Right,
like, okay,
right.
that's what that is.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Recently, you hosted a natural hair expo.
I did.
How did that come about?
I am friends with the founder, well, one of the co-founders, Tawanda Howie, and she thought that I would be a great fit. So this was my second year hosting at the Versus and Flow edition, but this year I actually hosted pretty much the entire show, and it was just an amazing experience. I'm glad that they asked me to be a part.
How many compliments did you get on your hair? Because you're constantly on stage. And
oh my gosh. Everybody wanted to know who did my hair and who did my makeup, who did my styling. So I kind of felt like a celebrity for a day.
Oh, you were a celebrity.
I was famous.
You are a celebrity.
I was famous then.
You are a celebrity. And you're a spoken word poet.
Oh gosh, yeah. How about that?
When you made that natural hair transition, did that come across in your poetry? Like, did you write about it?
I did. Poetry for me is self-expression, it's healing. So during that time of indecision of who I was and who I wanted to be, I definitely had to write a lot just to get that out and try to discover that person behind the hair or that person without the long hair, who I was. So it was, necessary really.
Now, being a naturalista, do you notice how men approach you? Or is it different now versus when you had the chemicals in your hair?
I definitely see a difference. I feel as though any man who has to approach a woman with natural hair has to be secure. There's a level of security that they have, and an appreciation for a woman that's secure and not superficial, because honestly, there's nothing wrong with the bundles of hair. I'll bundle it up every now and again. However, that can be artificial and superficial. And so I feel like the man that approaches me with natural hair is different than the one that would approach me just with hair down my back and tons of blonde curls. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Now, tell me about this color. I like that color you have.
Oh gosh, I can't tell you everything.
Yeah, you seem like you like to experiment.
My stylist ain't gonna let me.
Your stylist? Oh, okay.
She's not gonna let me tell everything.
Okay, so I apologize to your stylist. But we are gonna talk about that.
Okay.
Now, what's next up for you?
Hair-wise?
Just
Life-wise? Oh my gosh. Hair-wise, I don't know. I have no idea. I changed with the breeze. It's getting cold, so a protective style is probably coming around the corner. But this is all new, just kind of, I wouldn't call it a big chop, but it was just a chop in general where I had hair to about down here. I don't know if you remember, but I just cut it off a few months ago. So I'm just kind of embracing that and looking forward to what's around the corner. Always something new.
Confidence level, did that change drastically with the hair? I know we talked earlier about when you chopped the hair, you were still trying to find yourself.
Yeah.
But now that you're fully into it, full swing, what's your confidence level like?
It's definitely different than it was when I first started, for sure. I, struggled a lot just at the time, even with my weight back then. So it was just, an uncertainty. And I feel as though now there's no limit to what I can do. And again, it just takes an extra person, special person, to be natural and be confident in the hair that they're in and how they wear it. So corporate, out with friends, it doesn't matter. I'm me and I'm comfortable with that. So, confidence is pretty good.
Now, what advice would you have for somebody that's on the fence, wanting to go natural, but they got some of their friends like, girl, we're gonna get this 28-inch bundle, this and that, we're gonna be looking sharp and fly. Christmas is right around the corner, New Year's, all this, we gotta be looking sharp
fly
and everything like that. You can look sharp with natural.
You can. I tried. So what advice?
And so, what advice would you give to that young lady that's like right on the fence, like, I want to do it, but what would you share with her?
Well, natural hair isn't for everybody. It's not for everybody. I know plenty of people, I have plenty of friends that it's just not their thing, or they've tried it and it didn't work out. But I honestly encourage every woman to try the natural hair experience. You definitely find out who you are behind hair, behind accessories, and it's definitely an experience that's worth trying and going through with it, because the discovery that you have changes you forever. And I'm not the same person that I was beforehand, and I'm constantly evolving. So try it. Just do your research first and then try it.
Now, going back to the expo, I got to ask. I wasn't part of the panel. I was there as a guest.
Okay.
What did you think when the men were talking about, dating women that did the big chop without notifying them? Like, they just came home and was like, whoa, what happened? You think in a relationship, a man should be notified, or if we love you, it's more than just that?
It really depends on where you are in the relationship. When I did the big chop, I was dating someone, and at first they were kind of questioning it, but after I did it, they were really proud. So, I feel as though it just depends on where you are. If you're engaged and all that, you should talk about it before you do it. But any man who loves you should be supportive of what you want to do. And if you're prepared and you do your research for it, then it doesn't matter. I feel like, it's my hair, as long as I'm paying the bill, But it'll probably be different soon. Who knows?
Speaking of which, is it more cost effective to be natural versus one chemicals and stuff, or it kind of evens out almost?
It evens out a little bit, and it obviously depends on what your definition of natural is. Because some people are natural, but they still straighten their hair a lot, so they're constantly at the salons getting blowouts, and so that can still be expensive. For me, I still invest in my hair. I still like to maintain it so that it looks decent when I go out. So I find that even in that, there's still money involved. So the misconception that it's cheaper and less effort is false. It's just a matter of the level of health that you're trying to pursue with your hair.
You know what? I'm glad we finally hooked up.
I know.
Because we've been trying. Mother Nature hasn't been playing nice with us.
The rain has been awful. My name is Stephanie Artist, and it's natural to be natural.